All right, let's dive in. You can feel it in the air, right? The crypto market is absolutely electric right now. There's this massive wave of optimism, but what's actually behind it? Today, we're going to break down that buzz, look at the big picture trends, and then get into 5 specific coins that everyone seems to be talking about.
So, what's really going on here? It's so easy to get swept up in the hype. Our goal today is to cut through the noise and figure out the real forces at play. Is this just a lot of chatter, or are there some solid, fundamental drivers pointing to a real rally? Let's start by peeling back the layers on the macroeconomy.
Okay, so when you zoom out, you see a few big things creating, well, a pretty perfect environment. First, there's a near certainty the Fed is going to cut rates. And historically, that makes investors look for returns in places like crypto. Then you add in some positive chatter about US-China trade and the fact that Q4 is usually a good season for crypto, and you've got a powerful recipe for growth.
So, amidst all this buzz, 5 names just keep popping up again and again. You've got the Titans, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the high-speed challengers, Solana and XRP, and a real underdog, SUI. We're going to break down each one, but, of course, we have to start with the king.
First up, the heavyweights, the 2 blue chips of crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum. These 2 pretty much set the tone for the entire market, and right now, they are both showing some really fascinating signs of life.
You have to kick things off with Bitcoin. It's the original, the one that started it all. It's the market's benchmark, and more, it's becoming a serious asset for big institutions. It's also seen as a hedge against inflation, and let me tell you, right now, it is flashing some seriously strong signals that a rally could be coming.
The case for Bitcoin right now is so compelling because it's not just one thing. It's everything lining up at once. You've got history on your side with October, the charts are pointing to a potential breakout, big money is flooding into ETFs, and we're in a sweet spot in the 4-year cycle. I mean, it really does feel like a perfect storm is brewing.
And check this out. This chart really drives that historical point home. There's a reason traders call this month October. Look at that average gain, nearly 20%. This pattern is a huge reason for the optimism you're seeing right now.
But hold on, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. While the big institutions are pouring money in, the retail side of the market is telling a very different story. We just saw over $1 billion in liquidations. That means people using too much leverage got wiped out. And the Fear and Greed Index, it's showing caution. It's like a tale of 2 different markets right now.
So how do we make sense of this? Well, analysts have this pretty neat tool called the MVRV Z-score. Think of it as a way to see if Bitcoin is over or undervalued. And right now, it's right in the middle, in this neutral zone. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean things are fragile. The price is on a knife's edge and could tip either way.
All right, next up, Ethereum. Now, if Bitcoin is like digital gold, you can think of Ethereum as the world's decentralized supercomputer. It's the foundation for this huge world of DeFi and is basically the leader for the entire altcoin market.
And the bull case for Ethereum is just packed. It's dominating DeFi, its chart is showing bullish divergence, which is basically a technical hint that momentum might be about to flip upwards, and big money is getting interested. But honestly, the biggest deal is this upcoming Fusaka upgrade, which is set to make the network way more powerful.
And you can't talk about making Ethereum better without talking about L2s, or layer 2s. The easiest way to think about them is like this. Imagine Ethereum is a busy highway. L2s are like adding a brand new, super fast express lane right on top of it. They make everything faster and cheaper, and they're a huge part of Ethereum's future.
So here's the catch. The promise of these upgrades is huge, no doubt. But Ethereum isn't the only game in town anymore. It's facing some seriously stiff competition from faster blockchains like Solana, and there's a real risk that money could start flowing over to these rivals.
And speaking of challengers, let's talk about 2 of the biggest ones, Solana and XRP. Each one has a completely different story, but both are incredibly compelling right now.
First, you've got Solana. This thing is all about one thing: speed. We're talking mind-blowingly fast and super cheap. And because of that, it's built this massive, vibrant ecosystem. It's gotten so big that a lot of people are starting to call it an institutional blue chip among the altcoins.
But here's the million-dollar question for Solana. On one hand, its ecosystem is just on fire. There's real stuff being built, real usage. But on the other hand, you have this lingering ghost of past network outages. The big question is, can the network hold up under all this pressure?
And now for something completely different, XRP.
With this one, the conversation isn't really about tech or speed. Nope, the entire story is about regulation. Its future, at least in the short term, is hanging on some big decisions from the SEC about ETFs, and those could drop any day now.
Yeah. For XRP, it's a super clear-cut make-or-break moment. It all comes down to these SEC rulings. If they get approved, it could be absolutely explosive. We're talking a flood of institutional money. But if it's a delay or a no, that could stop all this momentum dead in its tracks. It's a real high-stakes situation.
Okay, and for our final contender, we've got a true underdog story. Let's talk about Sui, a newer blockchain that has just burst onto the scene, pretty much powered entirely by a tidal wave of market sentiment.
And when I say a tidal wave, I am not kidding. Just look at this number, 7,081%. That's the weekly jump in bullish sentiment. It's not a typo. That's just a staggering amount of hype, and it's leading every other coin out there.
But, of course, we have to ask, what's really behind this? Critics are pointing out that this incredible surge feels like it's based more on social media buzz than on anything fundamental. The big question is whether there's real substance here or if the hype will just fizzle out.
So, we've gone through the titans, the challengers, the underdog. After looking at all five, what's the big takeaway? What does it all mean if you're trying to make sense of this market? Let's try to put it all together.
This table, right here, sums it up perfectly. Every single one of these coins has a powerful, exciting story driving it. But every single one also has a major risk, a big what if that you just can't ignore. From Bitcoin's retail fear to Solana's network worries, each one has its own crucial test ahead.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The big picture seems primed for a bull run, but the individual risks are crystal clear. So what is this? Is it a market just brimming with once-in-a-cycle opportunity, or is it a minefield of volatility? The truth is, right now, it looks like it's both.